choo, choo. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. No time to play, there's work to do. Dams to build, logs to chew. Aspen wood to
If you guys look at this beaver foot, they have the web feet so they can swim faster.
That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud.
Okay, and now we have a raincoat. What does everyone think the raincoat is on a beaver?
The fur.
Yeah, what about the fur? Yep, the fur is waterproof.
It's waterproof fur?
Yeah. Did you ever know that?
I kind of thought that would be it, but I wasn't sure.
And now we have goggles. What do you Yeah, what do you think the goggles are for? Seeing in the water, and they have a nose piece, so the beavers don't let any water in their nose. Beavers actually produce this, they make it, and they spread it on their fur to make it waterproof, and they spread it around their lodge to mark their territory, which means they're just letting other beavers and creatures know that they live there, and that's their place. So here's our beaver man right here. Everyone give him a hand. There's some fish in there, and they build it underneath the water. So this is kind of the water level right here, and they build it on top. And if you guys want to go inside, stick your head up.
So you're like swimming underwater because they build it so they have to swim underwater so predators can't get to them. So you guys can climb right in there and then stick your head up into the beaver lodge.
Build lodges, dams, and canals. That's what beavers do. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. That's what beavers do.
All right. So we're first talking about camouflage. Do you guys know what camouflage is?
Yeah.
You want to tell me what camouflage is?
Something that blends in.
Blends in, yeah? So if a predator comes up, it will ooze out like this oil that will cover his skin.
And poison.
And it poisons, so when a predator gets it in his mouth, the oil will go into his mouth and make it swell up or get real puffy. And it could actually kill him because it can close off his throat.
These tiny insects also have the ability to direct their comrades right to the side of the food, and here is how they do it. First, an ant who's out scouting for food happens to run across your picnic. Hurriedly, it picks up a tasty morsel. And it heads back to the nest. On the way, it marks its path by laying a special invisible smell trail. It does this by frequently pressing the back end of its body to the ground and releasing a chemical called a pheromone. Even though the trail is invisible, it points the way for other ants because they can follow the scent. Once back home, the ant scurries about tapping nest mates on the body or striking them with his antenna, his front legs, his head, and this makes the other ants excited. And some of them run out of the nest. A number of them may discover the scent trail and follow it right to your picnic. They collect morsels of food and head back home, leaving scent trails of their own.
She won't give it.
They came into the house and they didn't use the door. They walked across the wall and they marched across the floor. They climbed onto the chair where I sat down and ate. Then they stepped up on the table and they stomped up.
So now they know what it tastes like. So now I need to do the dance to show them where the flower is. So I'm going to the white flower, which is kind of far away. So I'll take my tail kind of slowly, and then I'll come around. And then I'll do it again. And they're watching, so they know where to go. And I shake my tail, and then I come around. And hopefully, they get the message, and they can go taste it. Okay. So that's how bees communicate. Is there anybody that wants to try?
I got down on my belly and I looked them in the face. I said to every ant, get out of my place. But when I
That one of those. It's already in my California, probably. Because in this area over here, like in the west, except for California, there isn't much milkweed, so they don't have any food. So they prefer this area over here in California. If you look
I saw loud milkweed over here.
If you look at this, see, most of the butterflies, they live on this half of the United States right here. Maybe some in California and some down in Mexico, but mostly right in here.
They moved to Mexico for shelter.
Yeah.
Some say our gardens they grow mushrooms with dead leaves. Others they are ranchers milking aphids in the trees. When army ants are hungry, whatever's in their way could be devoured in less than a day. Those ants,
Those ants.
those ants, those ants.
What those ants have in common is that they keep a coming. They just keep on a walking and nothing's gonna stop them. Those ants.
Boys and girls take warning. If you go near the lake.
What is a constrictor?
They get wrapped around his trach.
Yeah, He eats mice and gerbils and rats. What he'll do is he'll grab it and then he'll wrap around it and suffocate it.
what garbage
And after he suffocates it, he'll unwrap it and he'll swallow it head
I have a new
first. Now,
bracelet,
why do you think he
Mommy.
swallows it head first?
So it doesn't escape.
Well, he's already dead. Why do you think he swallows it head first?
Well, because that's where the bigger is. It would be much harder to eat from the tail.
See him stick his tongue out?
Yes, that's how he smells.
Well, he smells, but he does something else. When you want to taste something, what do you have to do? If you have to touch your tongue there, you have to put it in your mouth. Snakes can do something we can't do. They can smell, they can taste their food without putting it in their mouth. Isn't that cool?
He is not dancing. He looks just like a stick. Now he doesn't have any arms or legs. You cannot see his ears. And while we are not looking, he's stealing.
We're going to show that snakes can't just hear like we hear, but we have an open ear and they can just, we can hear people talk to each other this way, right? Where snakes, they hear through vibrations. So
Can you do that to me, Brady?
here, bite down.
Here,
You got it. You bite down really hard. Your mouth here. Wow,
Holy, that's loud.
The FBI went Whenever something dies, the FBI is there on the scene. The FBI is working overtime. The FBI to pick those bones clean. Fungus, bacteria.
Ready, set, go! It looks like Purple's pulling ahead. Purple wins.
Invertebrates, the FBI. There's fungus all among us and it's breaking things down, returning nutrients into the fertile ground. Millions of mycelium underground. That's why when you hold a handful of the earth, you hold the FBI. The FBI. Whenever something dies, the FBI is there on the scene. The FBI is working overtime. The FBI to pick those bones clean.
Raccoon's got a bushy tail, possum tail goes bare. The rabbit's got no tail at all, just a little old bunch of hair. Raccoon is a mighty man, he rambles through the dark. You ought to see him hunt his den when he hears old Ranger bark. Possum up the simmon tree, raccoon on the ground. Raccoon says to Possum, won't you shake them simmons down? Rabbit up the gum stump, coon in the hollow. Possum in the tater patch, as fat as he can wallow. Raccoon's got a bushy tail, possum's tail goes bare. The rabbit's got no tail at all, just a little old bunch of hair.
It can shoot up to 500 times in 1 second. If a puffer fish is in danger, what does it do?
Puff.
Puffs up. Poisonous spikes. So it takes in water and swells up like a prickly balloon, making itself almost impossible to swallow. Your fang like this. See how the snake can open its mouth? It actually has a fang in the back of its mouth, which I never knew that. I always thought they were in the front, but they have them in the back.
You block out sound and help you hear through your bones.
Free to go to winter. Yes, he's free.
One more.
One more, Eli. Whoa. Get ready, so taking one more out. Right there, stuff.
Can you see him?
I can't see him.
I
Probably just want attention.
For how long they live, like these ones will probably live a month or two. But the ones that migrate do live longer. Say goodbye. He's gonna fly away. And then they
almost got to my head. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Amy, did you see that?
But free and in the wild.